I'm trying to get into the animation industry. It's really difficult for me. It's very competitive. It's hard to like meet people right now because during COVID, like you can't really go anywhere.
Right.
And I think I was just like, let me just make my own like company or own studio that creates animations.
I love that. Creating your
Yeah.
own lane.
But at that time I was just like, I'm so tired of the rejections. I just felt like I felt like I was trying so hard and then still getting rejected, and I was just like, there has to be some type of lane for me.
Wow. So you created your own.
Yeah.
Hey, friends, welcome back to Cozy with Calinnah. I share my journey as a nurse by day and an artist by night, having real conversations with multi hyphenates, dreamers, and doers. Hit that subscribe button and don't forget to watch a new episode every Thursday. My next guest is someone who blends painting, animation, and design into all her work through her creative agency, Nezzy Studios. From the Bay and now based in LA, she's all about art and community. Welcome to the podcast, Meaghan, a.k.a. Nezzy.
Hi. I'm so
Hey.
happy to be
I'm happy you're
here.
here. Oh my God. I'm so glad. I met you through Susie, was it?
Yeah.
Okay, so Susie
Yeah.
is my stylist, and we met through probably a white do-rag party or something like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
And yeah, I wanted to bring you on here because I've seen your work, and I think you're super talented and super
Oh,
amazing.
thank you.
And I was like looking at your website, and I'm like,
Yeah.
damn, this girl has done a lot of stuff.
Thank you.
A
Thank you.
lot of
Thank
cool
you.
graphics, and I mean, just amazing work. So thank you
so
for being
much.
here.
Yeah, I'm so happy to be here.
I wanted to start with an icebreaker question.
Okay.
What was your earliest memory of creativity as a child?
I used to draw a lot of like portraits. So, back in the 90s, we'd have like our like magazines or like
Yeah.
any like CDs or whatever. And I would just copy like celebrities' faces.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so I would just try and like, sketch out their faces, and I would just, for fun. And then
Mm.
yeah, I would just show my mom, and she kind of saw that I like enjoyed it, so she like had me join this like art class after school. It was kind of like a after school kind of like thing
Mm.
that she was like,
Curriculum or something like
not
that?
curriculum, but
Or
it's just like a little class that I would take after school.
and how old were you?
I think I joined when I was like 8.
Oh,
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like started singing when I was like, well, I think I always sang, but like in front of people publicly. I think it was around the age of 7. So I
Yeah. So
think,
it's around the
yeah,
same
I think like around
time.
that age is like when you're really starting to figure out like your hobbies or your like your the things you like and interests that you have, as a kid, and it's
Yeah.
like fun and like exciting.
Yeah.
Even
That's
though I
when
had
you're.
a lot of stage fright.
Yeah.
I had a lot of stage fright when I started singing. Like I thought I was always shy and stuff. Even though I wasn't shy, I think I was just like, when you have like those like
Like
little jitters.
nerves.
Yeah, like the nerves.
Yeah. Was it like
Um,
just in front of your family, like, or was
no, it
it
was
like
like
in
in
front of like,
church, like in
oh,
front of
church?
like the
Oh my
congregation.
gosh, that's
And
crazy. Yeah,
like it's kind of like different at the like if you're at the family party versus
yeah, like
like
a
in the
whole.
whole like audience, And then
Yeah,
if you mess up, you're like, ah. But
yeah.
like
Oh
nobody
my
cares when you're
gosh.
that young. They're just like, good job. But
Yeah.
I was like so like nervous
Well,
about.
especially since you love singing, so like it's important to you, so you want to like be
Yeah.
like
Right.
perfect or
Yeah,
in
yeah.
some
I
way.
guess maybe I wanted to just do a good job.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But that's cool. So you were born in the Bay, right? And
Yeah.
then has any of that influenced like your artistry now? As
Oh.
like, do you consider yourself all those things I just mentioned? Because I feel like you do a lot of different mediums, like, or is it
Yeah.
media? Is that the plural?
No, mediums. I would call it
Mediums.
mediums. Yeah.
Yeah, because I saw you had like you recently did like a painting, right?
Yeah.
That was sick, and I think Monica
Monica and Marcus
and
bought
Marcus
it.
bought it, right?
Yeah.
Such a cool piece. That's like a
Yeah.
huge one too, like for.
It's about like 5.5 feet to like an 8.5 feet.
Oh wow,
Yeah.
that's
So it's a
nice.
good size.
I love the
Yeah.
colors. And was that from like somewhere specific that you went to, or?
That specifically, it was in Bangkok. So
Oh.
me and my boyfriend were on this boat, and I think it was taking us all the way. It was like a tour, so it would take us all the way to like different stops, and then I think that first stop was the Big Buddha, and so that's where we were headed to. And then we
Mm.
saw this lady on a boat. They were selling all the trinkets and all the
Yeah.
stuff on the boat, and
Yeah.
then she just passed by this crazy like wall that had a bunch of like it was just looked kind of like grimy but also had like graffiti, and I thought it just looked super cool. And then I just
Mm.
snapped it, and then I kind of edited it in Photoshop to make it a little bit of like purple. And that's I have a whole collection that I'm going to be painting, so all of the paintings have that same like hue. um
Oh.
and I think I tend to like have that same kind of hue in all of my like illustrations that I used to do
Mm.
back in the day. So it's kind of like a little style that I really like.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I'm just pretty much making it my own
That's
in a
very
way.
cool. It reminds
Yeah.
me because I've been to Bangkok before too, for like a
Oh,
little bit.
yeah.
Like we took a side trip from. Did we go to the Philippines or something? It was like with my family, and then we did like a side trip to Thailand. And like the colors remind me of, is it rambutan or that like tropical fruit? Was it mangosteen
Mm,
or rambutan or one of those? I don't know if I'm saying it correct,
yeah.
but it was like kind of like that purple and like magenta and like pink tones, and it's just like really, really pretty.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
That's one of the things I also painted too was a mangosteen.
oh,
Like
oh
in
yes,
bag, yeah,
yes,
in like
yes,
a bag,
yes.
yeah.
Oh, that's
So that's gonna
cool.
be also part of
Oh,
the collection
awesome.
too, yeah.
Check that
Yeah.
out. Wait, so okay, so let's go back to the Bay. So
Okay.
you grew up in the Bay and you started drawing when you were a kid. Was being you're Filipino, right?
I am, yeah.
Yes, Filipino. Um, was that ever like was there ever like a stigma like in your family for being an artist? Because I feel like it's like a
Mm,
very like interesting contrast. Like I think like a lot of people that I've interviewed that are Filipino on this podcast have had a very like similar experience where it's like, it's encouraged but kind of also not encouraged, which is like weird because it's like such a
yeah.
contrast of both worlds.
Yeah, it's very like contradicting.
Yeah.
And I think it surprisingly my whole family was very supportive. I think
Mm.
my family um luckily isn't as like strict in that way. My mom was, she brought me into that class just because I enjoyed it, and I
Yeah.
think she's like my number one fan, and she supports me in
Aw.
everything. So I think that's definitely what helped. And I think I would say the when people well when Filipinos, they're like, oh, it's kind of like contradicting when some of the family members like don't support you. I think it's like more of like the older generation. I think it's just because like
Yeah.
that age is just okay, you have to like get married, and then you have to have kids, and then like it's just kind of like the thing that you
Right.
need to do.
Like very
So yeah,
traditional.
very traditional.
Yeah.
So I think my grandma was more in that realm.
Mm.
Not that she wasn't supporting me, because she loved my art. It's just like she's like, okay, like make sure you get a good job and you find
Yeah.
a good man and whatever. But
Yeah.
I know she still supported me in my art. It's just like you said, it's that's still like
Just like a
that
little,
little hint
yeah.
of like, okay, just I think it's just the worry, like the worry of
Mm.
like that you're gonna be okay and be good, because you need to have
Right.
stability
Right.
and be financially, yeah, stable.
Stable. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a hard life here. I think like
Yeah.
a lot of people were sold like this dream, and I
Mm,
think maybe the dream has changed since then, especially in
yeah.
today's times. But
Yeah.
yeah, like I think um, even though like the money could be more here compared to over there, because a lot of people send money back to their families to support them, and like they work like in another country. Like it's very common for
Yeah.
them to travel. Like one of the family members travels somewhere and then brings back the money. You know what I mean, to the rest of the family. So,
Yeah.
but what they don't tell you is that it's a hard life to like work your way up here, like especially in a capital, you know,
Yeah.
society here
Yeah.
and living here. So,
Yeah.
um,
And I think with like my grandma, it's like they sacrificed so much just to get here
right.
because my grandma has 6 kids. So she came here, pretty much by herself and like raised she was pretty much a single mother and like
Wow.
raising 6 kids out here by her like I couldn't imagine,
Right.
And then I think it's also maybe kind of like a thing where it's like, okay, well, I've done so much, don't fuck it up kind of thing. Oh,
Yeah,
can I
yeah.
cuss?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's
Okay.
encouraged here.
Okay. But it's kind of like, that feeling of like, okay, like I feel like she just worked so hard just to get here and for everyone to
Right.
like have a good stable life where it's like, okay, just I support you, just, make sure you're okay and like make
Right.
sure you're good.
Right. That's good though.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like encouragement can come a long way, especially when it's like in the primary years of like you discovering yourself. And I think that as we get older, sometimes we get it stuck into this like idea of whatever society wants us to do. And we forget like it's all about like what we want to do. And like,
Yeah.
um, and the rest of those voices don't really matter at the end of the day. And it's like
Mm.
constantly, I feel like the more that I'm talking to people and like interviewing them and like learning about their stories, it's like, wow, it's really like, it really comes down to like back to your childhood and what
Yeah.
makes you unique as an individual, you know?
Yeah.
And so with all the other mediums that you did you kind of learn those along the way? Did you go to school for it? Like, what's your background with all the different mediums that you use? Yeah.
Yeah. With that class that I did after school, like they literally taught us all the mediums. So like we started with like the easiest one would be like pastel, and then we'd move to watercolor, and then acrylic, and then oil, which is kind of like the master
I heard that's
class.
like a hard thing to, because you have to, isn't there like a drying like time period with oil or
Oh,
I
it's
know,
acrylic.
oh, it's an acrylic. Oh,
Yeah,
okay, okay. Yeah,
yeah,
I don't know all the mediums, but I
yeah,
remember watercolor the most. I
yeah,
really liked that style as a kid, and
yeah.
but yeah. So sorry, go ahead.
Oh, no, you're good. Yeah, no, yeah.
My bad.
It's yeah, no. I think just I learned all of that from that one class, and then I mean I enjoyed all of it. I just think acrylic just stuck to me the most because I
Mm.
don't know. I just thought it was super clean and like the way it laid on the paper. It just like it. I just connected with it more, so I just stayed with acrylic, and then that class just once you like get to oil, then you're kind of just like done unless you want to just keep painting. Like they let you copy like these landscapes, and it's like you can only copy so many landscapes in their book that they have.
Right,
So
right.
it's like, okay, well, once I was done with that, this was like I probably ended around like 12 years old or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So then by that time I was, I think, middle school. Is that middle school?
I
Somewhere around
think
there.
so.
Yeah. And then so that's when I started kind of like drawing the like portraits and all the things that I kind of
Mm.
just wanted to draw by myself instead of just like copying the things that they had in this book.
Gotcha. So you
Yeah.
started exploring and experimenting like your own style.
Right. Yeah. So I think
Oh.
that's where like I would do all of the portraiture. Like everyone would ask me like, "Oh, can you like draw a painting or paint a painting of like my dog or draw a portrait of my dog or what was it?
Your dog
My
or like their
like
child or
yeah, their
something?
child.
Uh-huh.
And I think like they would pay me, so I'm like, I love doing this.
Dang, you
Like
were getting paid at 12?
I think not 12, but like middle school to high school.
Wow.
I think like not a lot. Like I would just be like, oh,
Yeah.
$100, like
Hey,
yeah,
that's a lot for a child back
yeah. Like
in
in
the
high
90s.
school, like yeah. I mean, it was like 2000s. It
Or
wasn't like that
2000.
early.
Yeah,
Yeah,
gotcha.
yeah, yeah. And then I didn't realize that like this is what I would wanted to do like forever. I think it was just
Mm.
for me. It was just like a hobby. Like okay, I like doing it. I didn't think that I could make a career out of it.
Mm.
My family was like, "Oh, like do you want to go into like art?" And I did, but I just didn't know how, like what route. And
Oh, okay. What did
yeah,
you study?
I studied media arts and animation when
Oh.
I went to college, but that was like few years after I graduated high school because
Mm.
I like I said I didn't know what I wanted to do. Like,
Honestly, sometimes I think that's the better route
yeah.
because I went to school like right after high school. It's like, I mean, I felt like I knew what I wanted to do, but I feel like at that age, you don't really know. Like you think you know,
Yeah.
but you don't know.
Well, yeah, and I think like we were just so young. Like
Right.
at that age, it's like well, I don't know. For me, I just wanted to like hang out with my friends and party. Like,
Yeah. Me too.
it,
And I did. I
yeah
did
we
do that.
did.
We did.
Which is I feel like that's the better way of doing it because I feel like I
Yeah.
didn't miss out on anything. Like I don't really regret the steps that I've taken because I'm like okay, like now I get to focus and like tunnel vision with all of the goals that I have right now because I already done all the things that I wanted to
Right.
do.
And like you were still like being like I feel like everyone should like be able to like be young. Make
Yeah.
mistakes, party. Maybe
Yeah.
not black out so much.
Yeah,
But
no.
don't do that. This is 2025. But you know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like I feel like yeah, just like be a kid. You're still essentially like a young adult. You don't, you know, you don't even know what heartbreak is yet. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
we need to like be able to experience life, and I think as artists, like that definitely helps us like in our practice and in our craft is to just live life.
And that's
Yeah.
essentially what it's about too because you can't really create art unless you like live life because art really imitates life.
Right,
So
exactly.
it's like you have to you can't just stay in your house and then I mean you can. I mean obviously you have like the internet to
Right.
look things up, but
Right.
there's so many like influences when you step outside and it's just like a different type of
Yeah.
yeah, like
Yeah, pain.
yeah,
Pain is
exactly.
part of the artist process. I mean, I've been
Yeah.
writing a lot of
Yeah.
sad songs.
Yeah.
I mean, not all of them are all like always so relevant to my situation now, but I definitely like wrote it throughout like a period of, you know, a period in my life that like I went through.
Through paint. It's
And
like an
yeah,
outlet.
it is an outlet, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
So, how did moving to LA in 2020 impact your creative journey? What made you choose LA after living in the Bay for some time?
Um so when I started high school or when I started college, I was like, I need to get out of the bay. I was so tired of like
Yeah.
living in the bay and it just felt like redundant and I just needed to like spread my wings. I felt like I just kind of like I was at the you know top of the glass like my glass was already like super full
Oh, yeah.
and
Okay.
I was just like okay what's next like there's nothing I mean
Mm,
I was just I need new friends or I don't know what it was. I just needed something new. And
right.
I felt like LA was just that just because like it's just the hub for like artists that, you know, kind of like have a dream or whatever.
Yeah.
And I didn't like have any expectations. Like I was just like I need to LA is really close. It's not that far from the Bay. Like I felt like New York was like maybe not the vibe that I specifically wanted. So I was like, I need to move to LA. Like that was like my goal for the longest time. But
Mm,
it took me a little while just because I needed to like figure my stuff out in the Bay first. Like I needed to save up. I needed to just like, you know, like obviously graduate first because like when I figured out like what I actually wanted to do and move to LA, I was like middle of like schooling in the middle of college still. So I was
mm,
like, okay, I have to finish college first, and then I have to like save up, and then you know I just had
yeah.
stuff to do beforehand.
Yeah.
And then yeah, I think that was just like that was it. Yeah, that's why I
You
wanted to
just decided
move.
and you're like, I'm going to do it. And you made it happen, kind of thing.
Yeah,
And did you
yeah.
have any friends here already that you knew? Any
I
artist friends, or you just kind of took a
not
leap?
so much. Yeah. Well, what one thing that really pushed me was my sister because she's a writer and she also wanted to
Mm.
kind of like move too and she wanted to like pursue her dreams. So then she just
Oh.
like she was just texting me one day. She was just like, hey, I don't know, I'm trying to like say it verbatim, but she was just like, I don't know where you're at in life. I don't know, what your plan is, but I want to move to LA. Do you want to come with me? And I was just like, yep.
Oh, you're like without a doubt.
Yeah, yeah. And so at
Wow.
that time, I think I was definitely ready. I
Mm.
can't remember. It was 2020. It was like around that year.
Wait, so you moved 2020. Like, was this during the pandemic
It was
already? Oh,
before.
like right before it hit.
Yeah. So I think she
Oh.
asked me around like January or December. And then so we finally like made the leap in January. We moved on her birthday, January 4th. That's why I can always remember the
Wow.
date.
Oh,
And then
wow.
we moved here. And then come like March, the world shuts down. So
Oh.
we're just like,
Oh my God, that's
yeah.
wild.
We're like, what do we do? Like,
Yeah, so how did you navigate like that time?
it was interesting.
Mm.
Um, I was going through a breakup. Um, and it was a 7-year relationship, so it was a really difficult breakup for me just because like, you see that person every day.
Yeah.
It was a big change for me. Like I'm moving to a whole different city. I didn't really know anybody here. Um, and the only thing I could do was just like call my friends. I can't meet up with them.
Yeah.
So it was like it was like forcing myself to be by myself, which is a good thing, I think, just because I needed that. I needed to heal first of all, and then it made me like focus on what I actually really, needed to do out here and what I specifically like wanted to do out here.
Right.
Um, but it was hard.
Yeah. I mean,
It was, yeah.
I also have a very similar experience. Not completely, but I started being a nurse. Like I graduated in 2019.
Oh,
Then when I got my first job, it was January.
oh
And
wow.
then the world shut down, and then I was like a frontline worker without,
Yeah.
involuntarily.
Yeah.
And that whole experience, I mean, I think it helped. It like forced me to look internally, and because before I became a nurse, I became a nurse like out of more like necessity and stability at the time. And I was like, I will figure out what I wanted because I knew I didn't want to like be a nurse like forever. It was just
Mm.
going to be a temporary thing until I figured out what I was going to do. So it was like a career change for me. I don't know if you know this, but
Oh no, I
oh,
love
okay,
it. Yeah.
yes. Before all of that, I was like, I'm just gonna become a nurse for now, and get my money right and figure it out until I know what I want to do. Because I've always been a creative. Like I went to design school, I went to FITM,
Mm.
um, like right after high school. So I did
Oh.
the whole like creative thing. I thought I wanted to be a fashion designer, like
Yeah.
initially, and then that I didn't know how to sew. I didn't know how to draw that. I
There are a
realized.
lot of people that actually don't know how to like a lot of designers that don't know how to sew and
Well,
or
that's
like
true. That's very
yeah.
true. But I switched my major to visual communications because I wanted to be like a stylist or an event planner. I don't even know what
Mm.
that is, but I think like visual communications is like the equivalent of like social media content now, which is kind of like
Mm.
interesting because I have like other people that took that major too, and it's like like anything with a theme is pretty much like what you execute. Like, okay, your theme for today is like a skit, like, I don't know, like showing your dual life as a nurse and an artist. And then like you figure out how to like make that happen.
Yeah,
So I
yeah.
think like that's kind of the concept of visual communications, just like anything visual that you're communicating with the world.
Mm.
Um, so to me, I think that's social media is the modern day visual communications. We just
Got
didn't
it.
know it then because there
Yeah.
was no social media back then when I
That's
took this
true.
major. It was just kind of condensed into like, oh, if you want to like be an art director or like do windows, like the displays in windows. Like I thought that I wanted to do
Mm.
that and like move to New York and like
That
have
sounds
this.
fun
Yeah, like
too.
I thought that was
Yeah.
such a cool job. Like so I did do like merchandising for a little bit. I like dabbled into so many different like creative fields, but like in the end, I just like did not know where. Like it led me to like different places, and I
Mm.
think at that point, like where I ended up before I was a nurse was, I was like a A recruiter. Like out of
Oh,
all things, like
oh, like
like I went from like this whole like creative stuff, like then kind of into marketing because that's also creative.
yeah.
Then it led me to like market research, and then like social media for a recruiting company, and then eventually a recruiter
Oh,
before like I got fired from my job
oh,
essentially because it was like one of those like cold calling recruiting spots. Not like the
oh,
cool recruiting spots. It was like you got to
yeah.
make like 80 calls a
And like
day and like
email.
or no, it's like you cold call them. You
Oh my
literally
gosh.
call them. You have like this whole like list of people you need to
Uh,
call, but it wasn't necessarily like who they at the company knew. You were just like
mm,
going through like resumes. And then you call
mm.
these people and you have to convince them to leave their job for like your opportunity. And I was like, how am I gonna do this? So I didn't like, even though like they liked me and everything, I just wasn't meeting the quota. And like
That
with
sounds
those,
crazy
yes,
though.
with those
Like, I don't
jobs,
know.
it's like very like commission based. Like like we had like a fixed salary, but you have commission, and
Yeah.
I just wasn't really thriving in that realm.
Yeah.
So then I was like, what am I gonna do? And
Yeah.
then I did the thing that I never wanted to do, which was become a nurse.
That's so funny. Like, I want
It's
to know
so wild.
that. Like, how did?
Well, okay, so basically, like my parents were gonna retire. It's like, what are you gonna do with your life? And I was like, I don't know,
uh,
So it was kind
wait,
of like,
where were you at? And like, were you still recruiting?
yeah. So
Okay.
that's like
Okay.
when the whole recruiting thing happened, and like it was just kind of like a. I just kind of had one of those aha moments where it's like, okay,
Mm.
like I'm not happy with where I'm at. I just got fired. I was on fun employment,
Oh,
which is
I
fun
love that.
sometimes, right?
Yeah. No, I wrote that.
Yes, during COVID. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
for
yeah,
sure.
yeah, yeah.
That's
For
what made me stay here. Like,
right.
yeah,
Oh, I see. Yeah,
yeah,
dude. Side note, that
yeah,
was like a really good thing for like a lot of people. I feel like during
yeah.
that time because I mean, how are you going to pay your rent? Like there was just so much going on, and luckily, like
And it was a good amount. Like, it
it was
wasn't.
a good amount.
Yeah, it was a fairly good amount. It was
That's
probably
what I
like three
heard.
thousand dollars a month or something, which was okay. Like, I
Wow.
can't remember, but it was somewhere around that much. So it's like,
Wow.
hey, why?
Hey, well, like, yeah,
Why
why
would
am I
I
gonna
go
go find a
back?
job? Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, so I just kind of was like, okay, let me map this out. How much money do I want to be making in how many years? I kind of like
Mm,
had this self talk with myself, like, okay, like realistically, where do I want to be? And what
yeah.
are the jobs that are going to take me there? Like that I feel like I could be capable of doing. And I was dating someone at the time who was a nurse. So that kind of was also
Oh,
like the push
yeah.
where I was like, okay, I don't want to like get alone again and like okay, I have to make sure like whatever I'm gonna do, like this is something I'm actually capable of. So I joined like this program through UCLA that like had
Mm,
this kind of like it's kind of like an internship, and you have to like take a test, and but you basically are like doing the job of like a CNA, like a
mm.
certified nurse assistant,
Yeah, yeah.
where you're like you're like cleaning the patients, you're helping move them, you're taking vitals, like just like being in the hospital environment was something that I wanted to experience just to know like am I capable of doing this, cuz sometimes like yeah, you go through
Yeah,
all
you
this
go,
schooling, then you have
yeah.
the real life world
And then you're like,
experience.
wait, I don't want to do this
Yeah, you're like I don't
anymore.
like the hospital.
Yeah.
I don't like this, like how would you know that
Yeah.
unless you like had some sort of like internship or something. So
Yeah.
after that, like 2 weeks later, I was like, I could definitely do this. I can definitely
Mm.
like picture myself like doing this job at least. So that's what kind of like pushed me to make that career change. Even
Ah.
though I knew in the back of my head, like, this is not like what I'm passionate about, but it's something that I'm naturally good at,
Good at.
you know?
Yeah.
And I think as maybe that's why a lot of Filipinos are good at being in the healthcare field,
Nurses.
because I think we're like a very polite kind of culture, and we're
I think it's like we're so
welcoming,
giving and welcoming and like
giving. Yeah,
yeah, which is like like a good and bad thing. It's very good like in for nursing and like careers.
yeah.
It's just like with for me from my experience cuz like I'm always so giving and then I just don't know how to like put up my boundaries. So with like relationships it's
Mm.
so hard.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I totally feel that. But I think also with our culture, there's like, and Asian cultures in general, like we even like learn this in nursing, which is kind of interesting.
Oh, really? They
It's
teach you like about like
well, so usually like in Asian and Latino cultures, I think like generally, like we're not really good at like saying when we're in pain.
mm,
And I think it just comes with our culture is just like not being, it's just showing like we show how we love someone opposed to like saying we love someone. We're not a very
yeah.
verbal that's not our communication naturally.
Yeah.
It's like, a lot of people who are Filipino, it's like I know like not a lot of their parents will say I love you as like a
Yeah.
normal thing. It's not
Yeah.
like I love you, honey. Like
Yeah.
that's just like not really a thing. It's just more like here's some food on the table.
Yeah.
Let's like I don't know. Like it's
Yeah.
not. It's just like not as verbal. And then there's other cultures where they're used to talking about their feelings. So, they are more vocal about their pain. And so I just learned. It's interesting. I learned a lot of a lot about a little about a lot of things,
Oh.
and in nursing, and which is like kind of applicable to, I don't know, I try to flip it, right? Like I don't want to like be like I hate nursing and all this stuff. And I mean, I'm very grateful for like what it's provided me, and like that I'm able to do this, and a lot of other things that I don't feel like I'm necessarily like a starving artist. But with that comes like a lot of other things, is like you don't have the time. You don't have the time to like
Yeah.
be creative and just kind of like let things flow. And that's why I enjoy doing this podcast, because I think like just getting insight from everybody has their own journey. Like there's no real one way to do something.
Yeah.
And we just have our process.
Yeah.
And yeah.
How do you get like the time to or like not so like tired because like you said like you don't really get to have much time, but
Right.
it's like how do you feel like at the end of the day when I know nursing is like a 12-hour day type of job like
Yeah. So initially, when I first started nursing, I was doing the 12-hour shifts, I was doing the night shift. And I just felt like I was never sleeping. I was always taking a nap,
yeah.
like
Yeah.
an interrupted nap, because I would be sleeping in
Mm.
the day like this. And then it's like you hear construction and you hear like kids like
Mm.
yelling and playing, and like someone blasting their music. And it's just like I did like definitely do that at the beginning, but now like I'm in a position where I worked my way to get into a specialty. So it's
Oh.
kind of more of like a regular office job schedule now, where
Mm.
I'm able to, because I was when I was like in the midst of COVID, I was like, okay, how do I get out of here? I
Because
was
it was
like,
probably so stressful. Everyone is needing
yes, it
care
it
and
was it was a lot. I feel like, I mean, during that time, like I had like a very brief training that didn't necessarily prepare me for COVID patients. And everybody was basically kind of like almost ICU patients, which are more critical.
yeah.
And we had to figure out how to do all these things with no space, no resources. We were reusing everything because there was limited at that time.
Oh.
Like even like I heard like baby wipes were out of stock at that time, because
Oh,
everybody's wearing
wow.
buying toilet paper and shit, like
Yeah.
water bottle. I remember taking a picture one time being in Target, and like there was no water. And
Nothing.
I was like, this
Oh
is
my gosh.
crazy.
Yeah.
So anyway, I forgot what my point was. But yeah, like balancing it all has definitely come with time. because I felt like I did my dues. I realized, okay, if I'm trying to do this creative stuff, because I started singing during COVID, like during 20, because I was depressed. And I was dating someone who wanted to work on music with me. So that's how I kind of came
Oh,
back to
to
music,
music.
was
Oh,
through the depression and through all those things. And
yeah.
my work actually had like an American Idol, like
Oh,
competition.
story.
They had a competition at work, like a singing competition,
Oh,
but like the hospital one. And we had like voting.
oh,
We had to like, I think there were like 3 rounds, and I won the
oh.
competition at work,
What?
and I won $1,000.
That's
Thank you very much.
crazy.
Um, and yeah, and I don't know, it just kind of like was the start of everything. I think I needed kind of
Yeah,
that push,
that
and it
push.
helped me to like look internally and just be like, what do I really want to do? So when I started making music, I'm like, and I look around me, I'm like, there are rappers that I'm meeting that like do this full time. Like, if y'all can do this shit, like, why can't I try at least?
Yeah, yeah.
So that's kind of the story.
That's
That's the story of
crazy.
how I got back into the singing. And
Yeah. But you used to, I think, I know you mentioned earlier, you used to do it in church,
yeah.
but that was like when you were younger, and that was not
Yeah,
before.
it was like when I was younger, I would sing in the church, and then I was like in choir, like in school.
Mm.
And then I became a hip hop dancer like when I was like the end of high school.
Okay, okay.
And then I was a dancer for a long time.
So you're like the recipe of like a music artist, pretty
Maybe,
much.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe like, I didn't realize that until I started performing and like doing shows where I was like, oh, like all these things that I learned over time, like I didn't realize would help me now.
No,
Like
yeah,
just
that's
even,
interesting.
yeah, just even like, okay, what does the stage look like? Where are the
Yeah.
dancers gonna go? Where's the band gonna go? Where am I gonna go? Okay, should I go over here when on this part? Or like just like these things that make I think a show a little bit more dynamic. I think being a dancer has definitely helped me with that. And
Mm.
even though like dancing has changed, like I've been taking dance classes a little bit lately.
Yeah.
I'm like, there's
It's
still like
different.
it is different. It's definitely different. Like the way
Mm.
that they're hitting moves is not the way I hit moves back in the day. Like we would
Mm.
hit things on like the 1 or the 8 or like on a number. And now I'm
Yeah.
like, huh? Like I have to hear like differently now because
Oh.
music has changed too.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
true.
like
I didn't
the
even think about that,
mhm.
where you have to kind of like adapt to the music now because it's so different. That makes sense too because
Yeah.
like dancing, there's so many different types of dances and like it just like
Right.
it's changed so much. So
Like
I
if you
think
think about like the dances you heard back in the day where it's like bring them out. Like you were
yeah.
just like hitting bring 'em out. And
Yeah,
now they're
it's
like
like
there's like mumble rap, there's like all these different types of genres that like you hear
mm,
differently, and now like those dancers are dancing in a different, like they're hearing it a different way than as
yeah.
like maybe I heard it back then.
Mm,
So I'm also relearning just the way that people music,
mm,
what people find as like entertaining, because
yeah.
um, it's changed. And that
That's
just comes
interesting.
with like, being like I think every like 4 or 5 years, there's always like a new, like I predict that like pop is coming back. I'm
Mm.
like seeing all these shows like on Netflix, and they're all, like all making the band like Top,
Oh, have you started watching that show?
which the making like kind of like making the band, but
Yeah,
it's
it's something
building a brand, or
building a
something like
band.
that.
Is that
Yeah,
it?
it's not
It's like
making
on
the band
Netflix.
because that's
Yeah, yeah,
that we don't
yeah,
talk about him,
yeah. I
but
think it's building the band,
yeah,
something like that.
something like that, something
Yeah,
a band, and they
yeah.
basically like have like blind auditions, and then they like create bands themselves based off of connections. So it's like,
Because they're like in a box and they don't see each other,
yeah, they're
right?
like in a pod.
In a pod.
It's like
Like Love is
Love is
Blind,
Blind meets
making the band.
Making the Band. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Exactly. So anyway, that's my prediction, that I think
mm.
like this new wave, especially like I was reading like this thing today. I posted it about like Labubu's being like a sign that like a recession is coming because
Oh.
I don't know if you ever like were into Beanie Babies
Oh
back
yeah.
in the day, but like usually when like people are starting to collect things is because we're gonna go through something like we don't have a lot of things happening, like a lot of bad things are happening right now, a lot of crazy like dangerous things are happening, and it might be a prediction of like a recession. I don't know how true, but possibly.
Mm.
And like so when people start collecting things it's because they want to feel things or hold on to like
Some like
something.
some sort of, yeah, like
Yeah.
connection or nostalgia or some sort of like, yeah, that makes sense.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, like anytime there's like a war or something like that, like there's just like people hold on to things.
Mm.
So, um, anyway, I could go on and on about this
Yeah, I know,
stuff.
that's so
Yeah,
interesting.
yeah. So, back to you.
Dang, oh no,
Back to
like
you. Back to you. Okay, so let's talk about Nezzy Studios.
mhm.
Okay, how did Nezzy Studios come about? Where did you come up with the name? Have you been always called Nezzy?
Yes. So in college, I wanted to be a character designer. I wanted to be in animation. I wanted to, I don't know, maybe possibly work for Disney or Pixar, or I really wanted to make
Mm.
cartoons. I wanted to be like work for Cartoon Network. Just any, I loved animation. So when I started, it was hard. like
Yeah.
like it wasn't what I thought it was. There was just like so much like technicality stuff that I had to learn. And I think I just, not that I wasn't ready for it, but I just feel like I didn't have a style that I wanted. So that's like pretty much like what I was trying to go through in college. At the same time, I was like trying to learn all of these things. And so I kind of tried to like focus on making my own style. And I feel like that's what I did. And I was also going through just like I said, like wanting to move out of LA or wanting to move out of the Bay and just feeling a lot of feelings and having needing to have an outlet. And I think I started making this character and she just kind of like was like my alter ego in a way just because I feel like my the self that I wanted to be would just it felt so trapped
Mm.
because I couldn't like I guess be myself in a way like fully in the Bay.
Right.
So she was just kind of like an outlet for me, like, oh, like I can wear whatever I want kind of thing. And like I can like make her have like green hair. Like she could be anybody, you know? So
Right.
she kind of like was pretty much like an outlet for me. And so that stuck. And I was just like, I need to give her a name. And then I was literally looking online, like, oh, like cool names or whatever for like a woman. And then one came up and it was Nazaya, which is like a biblical name and it meant like strong or like a warrior. So I was like, that's sick. Like,
Ah.
that's cool. But I was like, I don't want it to be Nazaya. It just sounds very like, too, I guess, too like religious or in a way. And I didn't want it to, I wanted to sound like just cooler.
Like a little more modern.
Yeah, a little more
Yeah, yeah.
modern. And then so I
Oh.
kind of shortened it, and that's where Nezzy came about. And then I just
Mm.
started like just drawing her more and more. And then I kind of like made a storyline about her just because like in art in animation school they're like you need to have like a backstory for like characters. So like I I gave
Ah.
her that, but it didn't like stick. Like I felt like that's not what she needed. I think it was literally like that was me. Like that's me. It's not anybody else's backstory. It's like that's
Mm.
me. So that's why I stuck with her as being like my alter ego.
I
And
see.
then I just started painting her more and I didn't really know where I was going to go. I just kept drawing her. And I think after I moved here, I realized that I was like, you know what? I'm trying to get into the animation industry. It's really difficult for me. It's very competitive. It's hard to like meet people right now because during COVID, like you can't really go
Right.
anywhere. And I think I was just like, let me just make my own like company or own studio that creates animations. Um
Wow. I love that. Creating your
yeah.
own lane
Yeah, cuz I was
when
just like
yeah.
why can't I just do it myself? Because no one, I mean, I was getting rejected. I was just getting so many rejections. And I probably wasn't in that place either of like the level of, where I should be, which is why I had so many no's. But at that time I was just like, I'm so tired of the rejections. I just felt like I felt like I was trying so hard and then still getting rejected. And I was just like, there has to be some type of lane for me somehow, some way.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow. So you created your own.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, that's amazing. I feel like that's kind of how I've been feeling about music. It's like, okay, like I'm learning a lot every day that I'm doing it. And I'm like, okay, being an artist is so different now, though, than it was, I feel like, back then, you know? And I think with the resources that we have now, especially just like a lot of free ones too, like the internet, social media, like you honestly can build your own company by yourself and you really
Yeah.
don't need anyone to start it.
Yeah.
You know, obviously, I think a team is important at some point in everyone's career if needed. But I mean, the power of just being you and your style and your own uniqueness is like more than enough. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I
Yeah.
think I know it's like I'm doing it on my own right now, but I definitely want to like have people on my team
Yeah.
because I can't do it all on my own. Like it's a lot of a lot of things that I have to worry about with like I just want to stick with like the creative part of it and like I don't want to worry about like financial stuff or like worry about socials or where it's just like I'm doing literally everything. So it's just
Yes.
like it's hard. So,
It truly is hard.
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think I was definitely in the same boat like when I first started everything. And then I was like, you know what? I don't know. I think I've turned a little bit. Like now
Mm.
I enjoy it, but now I'm like, okay, if I don't want to do one of these, maybe I could allocate this to somebody else who can, you know, when I get like the money to afford like, you know, I think like
Yeah.
just having a business is really just about trying to see as much like if you can save as much money as you can because everything's always on a budget.
Yeah.
Honestly, like,
Yeah.
and when you do make the money, it's like, okay, well, you know, if you're not able to pay your bills, like you needed to go to that first. You know, first and foremost is like your living,
Yeah.
your comfortability, and trying not to spend beyond your means, but also like investing in yourself and like equipment that you need or something that's gonna take you like, you know, farther than where you're at. Like, you know, every day I'm always like, okay, how can I afford this new computer? Because the storage is
Yeah.
coming. You know what I mean? Like just like little
Yeah.
things like that. It's just like I totally know exactly what you mean. Like so, just doing everything on your own is. I mean, I definitely feel the burden of that because I am doing a lot too, and
Yeah.
um, editing takes time. You know, for the social media. Um, yeah.
And I think it's like you really have to like love it. Like
Yeah.
yeah, otherwise it's just going to tire you out. Like
Right. Burnout is a
burnout.
real
Yeah.
thing. And I've definitely like had waves of burnout. But I think I'm so deep in that I'm just like, I'm gonna make this freaking work no matter fucking what.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I'll figure out a way, you know? And
Yeah.
but yeah, it is hard like as creatives to not all creatives like enjoy every aspect of it, and I think I'm realizing like I like a lot of different aspects, but I just have a job that's taking out my day like every day
Yeah.
in the week, and
Yeah.
I don't think I would be able to do this if I had 12-hour shifts, honestly, because
Yeah.
those days where you work yeah, like you could work maybe 36 hours a week and it sounds nice because you have like these extra 4 hours wherever, but it's not much.
Yeah.
But then the other days that you're off, you're like catching up on rest and sleep and
Right.
errands and laundry and all these adult things that take up your time because adulting is hard.
Yeah. It's
And
so
it never
hard.
ends.
Yeah.
It never
It
ends.
really doesn't. It's like you think you're caught
Yeah.
up with bills and then like you check your mail and you're like, God dang it.
Yeah,
Like,
there's like another thing you gotta,
yeah.
yeah, it's just so. And do you feel like are there any things that you do in your practice that keep you balanced with all the things that you're doing? Because I mean, I see also the brands that you've worked with. You've worked with a lot of brands. You've worked with artists too. I know you've worked on the White Durag, some of their promo. I've seen the Sweetie thing on your website, and it looked like you did something with like the almond milk company,
Oh
Calico or
yeah,
something.
those are kind of like things that I made for like my
Oh,
portfolio.
for your
Yeah, it wasn't really,
portfolio.
yeah, because right now it's like I'm so in the beginning of stages of everything. So
It doesn't look like it
really,
though. I feel
that's,
like
yeah.
yeah, I mean your the way like you present it online, like it doesn't feel like that to me.
Yeah,
Like I
that's a secret to tell you guys right now. It's okay. So I worked with White Durag. That's true. But
Yes.
there are some things that are just like, you know what? I have to work. I have to make things that I want to actually in my career want to make with other companies. So I'm like, okay, let me just make this thing, and if companies like it, then like I have to show what I can actually do,
Right.
because I think that's the thing right before, where I was just like, I have this portfolio and I think it's cool, but the companies really just want to see, like, can you do the work? Like,
Yeah.
so that's where I'm at right now, and that's why I'm like curating this like specific portfolio where it's some of it's like very company based and very like, you know, not as fun and colorful as my other works, but yeah,
Yeah,
that's one
variety.
thing.
I think
Yeah.
variety is
Yeah.
good. I interviewed this muralist a couple weeks ago. His name is Jason Keem, and he talked about how he had a goal, which was like draw 100 drawings like a month,
Mm.
and out of like 10% of those, like he would choose, so that when so or no, it's just basically just keep on drawing like consistently, so that when a company comes to you,
Yeah.
you just choose out of those things that like, maybe the 10% out of those things that you feel like would be fitting. So because you're already doing so much of it consistently already, like all they have to do is choose, and you don't have to feel like, oh, now I got to come up with a concept and everything, because you're already you have it already in
Yeah.
your catalog kind of thing. So I
Yeah.
think what you're doing is great, like with the Sweetie thing, because that shows like that you can do this for an artist.
Yeah.
And like the more that you have of like little things per whatever catalog you're trying to create and portfolio, like then all you have to do is like, which one do you want? You know
Yeah.
what I
Like
mean?
I
Like,
can that's really what it is I
yeah,
think I needed more, like you said, like variety and a range of things that I can do, because I feel like I do have a range of like mediums that I can do, and I'm just like,
right,
hey, like I pick whatever your
right,
idea is, I can make it happen, you know?
right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my God, that's amazing. I feel like I really want to do that more with music, because
Yeah.
I mean, that's the only thing is like doing it all kind of also takes away for like other things from uh my day, which is
Yeah.
like remembering to like consistently make music, and like because
Mm.
there's so much that goes into it as an artist, is like you got to think of the promo, and then you got to think of like the album cover art, then you got to think about, just like these little things.
It's like, why can't you just make music and sing like that
Right,
part? Like,
right,
yeah.
and so it's just interesting. Like, I do enjoy it, but I'm like, okay, when will there be a switch? I'm like, okay, do I need someone to like help me with these things? And maybe like I'll have to figure out the contract in a way where
Yeah.
it like makes sense to me and it makes sense to them and everybody's happy.
Mm.
Because with that, I think also comes like ownership, like if someone's going to invest in you, then you got to kind of be like, okay, well, how much are they going to own? Like, those things are
Right.
like questions that I ask myself, like, and am I ready for that at this
Mm.
point? You know,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
just being an artist.
Yeah. Oh,
All the
trying
thoughts,
to
and
do
yeah, just
everything
trying to
all
do
at once.
everything.
Everything everywhere all at once.
Everything everywhere all at once, just like the movie. Oh, and do you ever have creative blocks? And how do you
um
manage creative blocks?
yeah. I definitely have creative blocks.
Yeah.
I think all artists do at some point. Um, I think I have so like what I do is like go outside, I think is one thing. Um,
Nature.
I think it just depends on I think it depends on like what I'm working on at in that moment because I do have different types of projects where it's like one is like, oh, I have to paint, or one is I have to be on my computer and make a 3D model. So it's like if there's just I have to have like a different mindset for each one. So I'm like, okay,
Ah,
let's just when I paint, okay, like let me just sit and just like be by myself and sit in silence, or like hey, smoke, or like do something to like
yeah.
make the mind think of something else so I can come back to it.
Right.
And then when it comes to like 3D work or 2D work when I'm on my computer, I think I like I have to go outside. Like I have to just see something else instead of the
Mm.
screen because it's just making my head hurt
Yeah, yeah.
and draining me.
Yeah,
So,
totally. Yeah, I
yeah.
think I didn't even think about that, like that you have different processes for like the different hats that you're essentially wearing, right? Even though you're still like all of those things, it's like you're in like this kind of mode. Like, yeah, I guess that's how I think. Like, okay, if I'm in a marketing mode, I'm thinking like a marketer. Or if I'm thinking like social media, I'm thinking like a social media content person. So, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Like, you have to be able to like get in your zone,
Yeah.
which is, I think I'm like trying to figure that out also sometimes. It's just
Yeah.
like getting back into that zone. Cause with writing too, like I feel like I have to experience things.
Experience, yeah.
Yeah.
To write about
To
them.
write about them.
Yeah.
So maybe I'm being a little harsh on myself sometimes, but
Yeah.
um yeah, I wish in a perfect ideal world I would just be like, here's a song and here's the, you know what I mean? But
Yeah, for sure.
sometimes like going through, as we mentioned before, the pain or the suffering or even the happiness can lead to something maybe that you would have never thought before if you didn't like give it the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then when it comes to like burning out too, I feel like um there are times well with me I don't really know like how to put up my boundaries sometimes because or with myself because like I'll just keep working and I want to like finish something
Yeah.
and then it kind of you kind of have to like have some sort of like discipline for yourself because it takes like you have to just like force yourself to take that break because like otherwise it's just gonna you're gonna come back to it and not like it and get frustrated and then not want to do it anymore or something like that.
Right,
Yeah.
right. That's so true. I think taking breaks is essential because I'll
Mm-hmm.
be like working on something and then I'll look at it the next day. I'm like, dang, I was working on it for so long and how come I didn't? My
Yeah.
eyes look different now.
Yeah.
Like today, the lens of like my vision or something. I'm like, oh, I thought that this looked because sometimes when I'm editing, like, and I'm changing from one shot to the next, I'm like, oh, they don't look even. So then I'll tweak it more and tweak it. And then the next day, I'm like, I should have just left it how it was
Yeah.
originally. Like, it was just
Especially
too
if you're like
much.
up at night, late at night or
Yeah.
something and
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. That night vision will be like completely different. And you're tired or whatever. So I think that's great advice is just taking breaks.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like forcing yourself to even like go on like a 10-minute walk or, do something else.
Mhm.
And they say you're supposed to every 20 minutes look away from the computer for
Yeah,
20.
get
Who
up,
does that
stretch.
though?
Like
Girl,
I don't for sure.
yeah.
Yeah.
But I can see why.
Yeah.
And is there any like pep talk as a creative that you give yourself when you feel stuck or unsure as a creative entrepreneur?
I do it. Like I think when I'm when I'm like not ready to do something or I'm too tired, I'm just like, okay, like just 1 more hour, 1 more hour. And then it kind of like gets you into this role of like, okay, all right, 1 more hour, 1 more hour. And then if I'm like, I think there's so many like aspects of it too. It's like if I'm going into a meeting or whatever, I definitely need a pep talk, like to myself, because I'm like, okay, I'm probably just gonna like talk too much and like we're just not even gonna focus, or like I and I need to figure out like the budget of what they want, and like it's like that's a difficult thing to talk about too. So like before meetings, I'm like, all right, you got this. Like you got this. You gotta breathe,
Yeah.
and definitely breathing like really helps. Like before the meeting, like just give yourself a couple like minutes to just be like, okay, all right, I got this.
Yeah.
And one other thing too is like I listen to music like super loud. Like I love listening to music. It just really motivates me to do like anything. And it
What's on your playlist right now? The viewers want to know.
oh well, I did listen to that Tyler the Creator album that just came out
Oh, you
today.
did? I
Yeah, it's
haven't
so
listened to
good.
it yet.
Yeah. Okay.
I've been listening to the
Yeah, yeah.
Justin Bieber one.
Oh, Justin Bieber one is so good
Yeah,
too.
I'm like
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
almost there.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, but it's good so far from what I've heard.
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
so you blast music to get yourself hyped up.
Yeah. So then it's like you kind of like calm the nerves and
Mm,
you're just like not in your own head.
yeah,
Or yeah. I have to like I have I have a lot of thoughts. I overthink a lot. So I just need
girl,
the
same.
mind to just calm down
Yeah,
and then just relax. So
yeah,
yeah, anything that has to do with like relaxing and just calming the mind and like clearing the head is
that's
something
good.
that I have to do.
Yeah, I remember I forgot where I read, but um, they were saying like before you go on a date, like let's say you're nervous for a date, is to watch like a comedian. Cause then it's
Yeah.
like you're like, okay, like, you don't have to like think so hard about it. You want to like laugh and like just like have a good laugh before so you're a little bit more comfortable. So like sometimes I'll try to remember that. Like it's not so
Mm.
serious, or like or
Yeah.
maybe like, they have podcasts now and all this stuff. But something funny or something lighthearted or like music could be like definitely a way to escape a little bit for a few minutes just before you go in to hype yourself up.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
that's good advice.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm gonna have some rapid fire questions.
Okay.
Okay, let's do it. Okay, at the moment, do you have a favorite medium? Paint, animation, design.
I think 3D right now is like my favorite. Just because
Mm,
like it's I don't know, like it's a challenge for me right now cuz I don't really I haven't dabbled in it too much, but I think right now it's just like it's AI is getting so like crazy, so I think I want to just
yeah.
like get into the realm of like making, some things like more realistic, or like any
Mm,
making anything that I want in a 3D space, because 2D is like it can be like somewhat limiting. Like you can do a lot in 2D, like you can obviously like make things look realistic, but I think I just like the look of 3D right
I mean,
now and
3D
just
is sick.
yeah.
I mean, how much is it a lot more work to do 3D? Because I like know nothing about like I mean, I know like what 2D and 3D is, but like making it, I don't know much about.
I think it's the same, to be honest. Like the
Oh,
same amount
okay.
of time. I think like with for me it's like there are certain things that take a lot more time just because I don't know it. I
Right.
think making like textures like is like the worst
Oh.
thing for me because I just don't really fully understand it, or like trying to texture
Mm.
something because there's just so much you have to learn, and like the lighting and all of that stuff. So there's I'm still learning for sure.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
that's so cool. I mean, I would like, are there programs that people use like normally?
Yeah.
What is the standard? I don't
Right
know
now I
what's the
use
standard.
Blender.
Blender.
Yeah, and it's
Okay.
free. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. So that's why I like it, because a lot of other programs they're like really expensive.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, Blender, I mean there you can buy like add-ons or whatever that cost a lot of money too, but Blender is totally free. You can just download it now and like have it onto
Wow.
your computer. But
Is it kind of
yeah.
like, because back in the day, I learned like Adobe Illustrator and like Photoshop. And I remember Illustrator was like where I learned how to do like CAD design, and it was
Mm.
more for fashion. So like how to create like a shirt, and and then you like learn like the clipping and like the layering. And is it kind of similar like that?
Yeah, like
Okay.
I think it's just you have to be aware of like every specific angle. I mean, it depends on like, what you're doing because like you can just render out like something in one like frame at a certain like angle or whatever. But then if you're doing like a 3D model that's going to move around or whatever, you have to make sure it looks good all around. So it's like,
Ah.
okay, if the front looks good, but the back might not. So it's like
Oh
it's just
yeah.
that's how it's different.
I see, like the spatial
Yeah.
awareness. Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
All right, second question.
Okay.
Bay Area versus LA.
Oh
What
man.
have you noticed that's different from the two?
What have you Oh, that's
Like,
different?
do you feel like the people are different? Do you feel like
Oh,
the
the
music is
people. Oh,
different?
everything.
Okay, tell me
Yeah.
the differences.
I think it's like the Bay Area is just so like relaxed and chill and they're just so accepting of everybody. It's just like well, more of like a welcoming city
Community, yeah.
aside from like LA where it's like I mean there are a lot of like stereotypes, but I feel like LA is just a little more um I don't know what word to describe it like
Is
in a
it positive
friendlier
or
way
negative?
in a friendlier way but it's just um you have to have like a certain standard for people to talk to you or something like that or
Mm,
like it's always like a conversation of like who do you know or like you know what I mean so
right.
it's like sometimes in the Bay it's like oh like let's just have a conversation like who are you kind of thing so
More of the person opposed to what you're
yeah.
doing with.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think a lot of um, people in LA, I'm not going to say LA natives, but people who live in LA kind of have this like presumption of what LA people are like.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's kind of always like, because I think people are here to like, you know, follow their dreams. So it's kind of like, okay, how do I get there? They're just
Yeah.
like trying to find the people, like, who are going to
Yeah.
get me there? You know
Which
what I
is
mean?
which is great. Like I love
Yeah.
that part of LA where it's like, oh, people love to like network and connect and
Yeah.
like have a community.
Right.
But there's also like another side to where it's like and
Yeah.
it's I feel
More
like it's like those
pretentious.
people that actually don't like aren't from LA. Because I love people like
Right.
there are people that actually they're born in LA
Yep.
and they're not as, I guess superficial. Word?
Superficial or
Yeah.
pretentious or
Yeah.
and do you feel like the Bay's music is different than LA? Because I feel like whenever I go there, it's like it's so
Yeah.
lively over there.
Yeah. I think it's for some reason I think it's like they're kind of like blending
Oh,
together.
now?
Do you think? Like
Yeah,
I
maybe
feel like
now.
with Kendrick like
Mm,
I feel like that's why it feels like blended right now, but you can totally like feel the difference between like Bay Area music and LA music or like if you go to the Bay they like dance and like they're in
oh
their
yeah,
cars
it's
and like
always a
yeah.
party in the Bay, and I feel
Yeah.
like it's so fun. Like I haven't been to the Bay in a while, but every time I go, it's super welcoming, and I enjoy going there and
Yeah.
visiting.
I love it. I love going home.
Yeah. And ooh, best way to reset after burnout.
Mm. I honestly just don't do anything.
Dude,
Yeah.
rest?
Yeah.
Oh, let me tell you the power of
Yeah.
rest.
I love napping, honestly.
Oh, I
Yeah.
wish
I could literally nap all day. Like,
dang.
yeah.
I like napping. I just never do it.
Mm.
And I really think it's every time I take a nap, it's like therapy. Like I think I don't need it, but then when I go through it, I'm like, that was nice.
Yeah. That's hilarious.
You know what
Yeah,
I
I
mean?
like that.
Yeah, like every time I'm like, I don't think I need therapy this week. And then I'll go into
Yeah.
therapy and I was like, dang, I had some
Yeah. And
load
you don't
there.
realize, right? That you
You
have
don't
like so much
realize
like stuck.
stuck in your, yeah.
Yeah.
And I think like naps, even just like a 15 to 20-minute nap, just helps reset the body, reset the brain, and you're not as stressed.
Yeah. And the gym. I like going to the gym.
Ooh, that's a good
Yeah.
one.
Mm-hmm.
That's something I haven't been to in a while.
Yeah, no,
And I was
I only
on
go
my
like two
fitness
times
journey.
a week. I
Oh, well,
act
that's
like I go
good.
like
No,
every
no,
day,
no.
but
I
yeah.
mean, just even like walking
Mm.
or, like just taking time to like not, I think we're just in this society where it's just like work, 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 work. And then we just forget that we need to like rest, 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 rest.
Yeah.
So we can be productive with our our talents and our
Yeah.
creativity. And I think it's just a beautiful thing to be able to, it's a privilege to be able to be creative. And
Mm-hmm.
so thank you so much for being
Yeah.
here. I'm
Of
glad that we were able
course.
to have a chat. Is there anything that you would like to promote?
Oh. Hmm. Well, right now I am starting on a collection. I'm working on a few pieces, but I think I'm gonna have my show next year. I
Ooh.
haven't started, really planning it just yet, but look out for that for sure.
Hey, and where
Yeah.
can people find you?
On Instagram, I do have a TikTok. I'm not really on it, but on Instagram, it's at Nezzy Studios. Yeah, go check
Check
it
it out.
out.
Well, thank you so much for being on the podcast. I'm so glad that we were able to link up, and I'm
Yeah.
sure I'll see you at another party
For another,
somewhere
yeah.
in LA.
For
And I would
sure.
love to work with you at some point. I
Yes.
think
Oh
that'd
my
be really
gosh.
fun.
That would be so cute. Yeah, let's
Yes.
do it.
Okay, sounds good.
Yay.
Yay. Thanks so much for watching that last episode. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Don't forget to watch a new episode every Thursday on the next Cozy with Calinnah.
Calinnah.
Hey. Bye.
Bye.